In this video, we'll learn how to build a reusable component. Till now, we have used Salesforce standard reusable component like lightning card, layout items. But now we're gonna build our own reusable component, and step by step we'll see how to build the reusable component. So first let's go to our VS Code and create a component. And I'll create a component and give the name the component demo. Now our component is ready. So as I said, till now we have used Salesforce standard reusable components. So first see how they look and what they are. So let's go to the Google and type lightning card. So now once you type the lightning card, you will see the lightning hyphen card. The second one, first one is for Aura, second one is for LWC. As I select this, I can see there is a card and the description. Let's copy this code as it is, and one by one I'll explain. I'll copy this code and put in our component HTML. And now this is the reusable component in which we are calling the component name as lightning hyphen card. So this is the standard component Salesforce has given us. It says if you want some title, pass in the slot and pass the text, it will automatically render in the card title. If you pass some text, it will go in the body. If you pass something within the slot action, it will go on the right hand side top corner button. And if you pass something inside the footer, it will form a footer. So let's deploy this and see how it looks. And let's go to meta file, change this to true. And in the targets, we can reset targets. And you can write as many target as you want. But in our case, we can simply restrict it to lightning app page, but you can make it for the record page, home page, community, anywhere, okay, based on the need. But whenever you build reusable component, it's always good to add all the target like app page, home page, record page. So now our component is ready. I haven't done anything extra. I just copy paste the standard component. Just want to show you how it works. So let's go and deploy this. And we're gonna build the same kind of component, and I'll show you step by step how we can achieve the same structure, because in the previous video we already learned how the slot works. So this is the right time to understand that. And we will give this component name custom lightning card. Okay, so let's go and create another component, custom lightning card. So this is the component that we are creating, that's why I'm writing custom in front of it. So custom lightning card. Now the component is ready. Now what we're gonna do is, first thing, we need the card structure. So whenever you start building something reusable, always go to the lightning design system library and see is something already available there that I can reuse. I already explained what is lightning design system library. Go to Google, type lightning design system. It is a CSS library of Salesforce that gives you the standard look and feel of Salesforce component. So here you search for card, because we are building the card. I'm searching card here. And card, and its card here is coming. You just select this one, first option. Yeah. So here the card is coming, the same card, same sort of card that you are looking, title, button, body, and the footer. We can go and see which code we can take here. We can take the single action one that has the card like structure, then it has the header, it has the button, the footer we will add it, that's not an issue. So we'll copy this code. You can click this icon, copy the code, come back to our component that we are creating, and go to the HTML file and paste the code as it is. Okay, now what we don't gonna do, we gonna just format this out, and you can see the header tag is there. Just format the header tag, then we can go to this div tag and format this div tag, then pen, and we don't need icon in our case, so I'll remove the icon. Then we can format our header as well. If you want your header clickable, let it be in the A tag, and all this formatting we are doing just to make our code readable. You can put in the formatter and can see that. So I just format this code right now, and we can deploy this code. But before deploying, because this is a reusable component, we're not gonna change anything in the meta file. We just gonna include or embed this component into our main component. I'll come here to our first component that we created, reusable component demo. Here I'm gonna call that component, and our component name is c hyphen custom hyphen component hyphen demo, and let's deploy this. Now it will deploy both the component, one the custom component demo and the component reusable component demo. Because in the custom component demo we already, this is custom lightning card, not the component demo. This is custom lightning card. Now let's deploy it. Anyhow, you see our previous push failed because the name was wrong. Now we are giving the correct name, custom lightning card. Now it's deployed. Let's go and refresh our main page and see whether we are able to see the two cards or not. Now at least we are getting the heading as well as the button. The footer is missing and the body is missing. We'll add that, and for that we'll go back to our VS Code. Now we have our, where it is, in custom lightning card.html we have our text, and we don't need this bigger because we are not building a component that will take the icon. We'll just make it simplify by taking the heading, taking the action, body and the footer, the fourth step we're gonna follow in this. So now here we have the title that is coming here, and we can move this A tag as well. I don't want my title to be clickable. If you want, we can give the user a choice. He can send the A tag from the outside. So here what we can do is we can convert this A tag to div, and this A tag as well div, and let's move the title, and let's remove the span, and here our header now this is the button, so this is the action basically, and I'll say here action come. Anyhow, this is the button, so I can write the button name as action. Now header is done. Then we need a body. For body there is a class slds card underscore underscore body. So now body is ready. Here body will come, and then we need a footer. For footer we have a class slds card underscore underscore footer, and if you are imagining from where I'm getting this class, I can show you. You can go back to the lightning design system library, and here you can look into the body class. Here is the body class slds card body, and if you look into the footer, there will be a footer class as well. So this is with footer. If I show the code here, you can see slds card footer, everything is there. I'll go back. Instead of div, we'll use a semantic tag footer and the footer. So now we have a footer, We have a body, we have a action, we have a header. I'll say here footer will come. So let's deploy and see whether that structure is looking good or not. So till now we just format the structure. We haven't done anything out of the box. Okay, so we just aligned it based on our need. So it's deployed now. Let's go back to our app, refresh the page. And it's looking totally weird. Let's inspect this and see why it's so. And first place, instead of inspect, I'll just comment our standard lightning component so that we can able to visualize our code better. Comment it out. I'll deploy it again. Now it's deployed. Let's refresh the page and still it's looking the same. Let's go and see our code, what mistake I did. So this div is closing out, but this div has the class SLDS card header, so this should not close at the end. This should close immediately after header. So now the header is closing here, the body is closing here, and the footer is closing here. We can comment this header, body, and footer. So now we have a clear-cut separation for footer, for body, and for header and action. Let's go and deploy this again. Closing correctly now. So it's deployed. Let's refresh the page and see whether our card is looking better or not. And now you can see that our card is looking far better with the header, action, body, and the footer. So now let's see how we can configure this component in the same way the standard component is doing, like how we can pass header or like action or footer or body from the main component instead of hard coding inside our HTML. So here in the previous video we have seen how slots work, and slot is very much needed to build a reusable component. So here what we're gonna do is we will build the slots and the name slots. So I'll say slot name is title. I'll close the slot. I'll take the another slot and I'll remove this out. I'll say this slot should be action. Here the action should come, and then we'll take the another slot, put a footer. I'll say whenever somebody say I'm passing the slot to the footer, that should come here. And if somebody didn't pass anything, it will come to the body. So this is unnamed slot. In the previous video we learned about named slot and the unnamed slot. So if the slot has an attribute name, these are the name slot. If you don't have any name, it will be unnamed slot. So we map the slots here now. Let's go to our HTML and see how we can pass this data. Now I'm back to the HTML and let's copy the same code that our standard component was capturing. So let's pass the same code. The slot is title. In our HTML also the slot is title, then the slot name is actions. Here is also actions. Then in action we are passing the lightning button. Then we have a footer. Footer is, we are passing the h6, this is footer. And in the body, if we don't pass any slot tag with the tag, it means it will go to the body. So this is the body. Let's deploy and see if we able to achieve the same output similar to the standard one. Deploy, and it's deployed. Let's go and refresh the page. And now you can see that it's giving us the same output that we were getting from the standard component. So till here it's okay, but let's test some couple of scenarios. Okay, so this is the first card. Let's copy this card again and remove the footer, and let's Copy the same card again and remove the action. This is this card is without action. This card is without footer, and let's create one more in which we'll remove footer as well as body. They will pass only heading. This card only in title. So now all the variation we are trying to cover and see which one is working fine and which one is not working fine. So let's deploy this and see how it looks. So we have created 1, 2, 3 and 4 card. So the first card is the standard card that's in which everything is working fine. Now in the remaining 3 we're gonna test. So now it's deployed. Let's go and refresh the page. So there should be a 4 cards there. So the first card we know already is rendering perfectly fine. So this is the second card in which we hide the footer, but there is a line coming for the footer. So we need to handle this scenario as well. Then without action it's rendering properly, and without title still the footer is coming. So the only scenario that we have to handle is the footer. Let's go and see how we can handle the footer scenario. Let's go to our reusable component, that is custom lightning card, and here this class gives us the padding as well as the border by default. So if I go and show you how it gives, so I'll do right click inspect. I'll go and see how footer looks. I'll go on the footer tag, and here you can see that this class gives by default padding top, padding right, bottom left, margin, and so many things. We have to hide this class, make it workable. So if I remove this class, see everything is working fine. So what we're gonna do is we'll create or we'll use the class slds hide. So it will hide by default the footer always, and we're gonna use the power of slot change. There is a method that we learned in the previous video, that is on slot change, which will get called whenever somebody pass something to the slot name footer. We'll say on slot change handle slot footer change. So this method gets called whenever somebody pass. By default this footer will be hidden because of this class. As soon as somebody pass something, what we're gonna do is we'll say const footer element equal to this dot template dot query selector, and we'll call that footer. There is a tag here, so we are calling the footer tag, and we'll say if element is available, then go to the element dot class list. This is the way how you can see the all classes available to an element, and we'll call a remove method, and we'll say remove this class. So this class gets removed only if somebody pass something to the slot. I'll go to the JS and I'll remove this, and now our footer will also work. And to test that, before that, what I want to do is our components are stick to each other too much. So let's create a div here and say give some slds margin around medium, and I'll copy this 4 times so that our all 4 components can place in between. So the first one will go inside the first div, the second one will go inside the second div, the third one will go to third div, so that we able to differentiate. Actually, that's why I'm giving some div with a margin around medium. So now let's see how our component looks and whether the footer is working fine or not. And now it's deployed. Let's see our component again. And now you can see that title is coming, button is coming, button is action basically, body is coming, and the footer is coming. This is the component with everything. Then we remove the footer. Now footer is hidden, so everything is perfectly aligned. Body you can align automatically once you put your tag within the SLDS padding, or you give some margin, you can handle it from the outside, so we don't need to do anything specific inside our component, reusable component. Then we just hide the action and the footer is coming, and then we remove body, action and footer, only the card is coming. So that's how we build the reusable component. And I showed you the component that built by Salesforce, and we build the same component in our way, basically the custom way. So these are the steps we follow for all kind of reusable component, and always look for the classes that are given in the Lightning design system to get the same look and feel. So that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next video.